I'm Heather Briggs of My So Quilty Life. Welcome back to my channel. We're gonna have another skill builder video, and I can't wait to show you what we're working on today. Today we're talking all about seam allowance. I know, that is probably the biggest thing that people struggle with quilting, but did you know that the seam allowance is only part of the problem? Who knew? Did you know that cutting and pressing is also part of the problem that you might be having if your pieces are not coming out exactly how they should? Maybe, but I wanted to show you a couple different things that I do to ensure that my pieces come out exactly how they should. And let's talk about seam allowance. So usually in a lot of my patterns, most of my patterns, I say that you need to sew with a scant 1/4 inch. What that means is it's just a little, like 1 or 2 stitch lengths away from an actual 1/4 inch. That is so when you do press your seams, that folded fabric does usually turn out to be exact. Now, there are a ton of different videos to go over what a scant is and what a 1/4 inch seam is, but something I always use every time I sew is diagonal seam tape. I'll pop up a picture of what that looks like, but I have that on my machine and I sew up to the black line, which says it's a 1/4 inch, but I find that it's actually kind of like a scant 1/4 inch when I get done, because it just depends on what side of the line. Are you going up to the line? Are you going to the line? Are you in the middle of the black line? It's crazy. There's a ton of different things, but as long as you're doing the same thing consistently throughout all of your pieces, you should be just fine. Now, I'm not going to talk through about what a seam allowance is and what a 1/4 inch seam and how to get it and how to get a scant 1/4 inch seam. In this video, what I really want to talk about is when you go to trim your piece, how to ensure that it's exactly what it should be, because I use my ruler to measure what it should be a 1/4 inch less. So if you have a 2 inch square and you assembled it to another piece, it now should measure 1 3/4. And I'm going to show you that here. That is exactly what I use. I use all of the lines on my ruler in order to help me square up everything that I sew to make sure everything comes out correctly. So I'm going to go ahead and sew these 3 pieces together, and I'm going to show you how to trim this down, measuring and subtracting that seam allowance so you can make sure that your pieces end up what they should. Okay, so I just went ahead and assembled these 2 pieces, and I still have this one to assemble. But what I always do first, before I assemble 3 pieces together at my sewing machine, I know it's so tempted to just go ahead and put this on there before I press and assemble, but sometimes I find that my seam allowance is not perfect enough and one of my pieces are bigger than they need to be. So what I like to do is I like to go ahead and trim this piece. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to align my seam up on my ruler. And what I want to do, because this was a 1.5 inch by 3 inch piece, it should now measure the part that you see, this part, should now measure 1 1/4 by 3 because of that seam allowance. Now, what I always do is I always trim off any excess before I go ahead and assemble another piece on. I'm going to go ahead and test that theory and see if it works. Okay, so let's take a peek. Originally, this piece and this piece was 1.5 by 3 inches. What we want to do is make sure that now it measures 1 1/4 by 3. And it looks pretty darn good. So I'm gonna go ahead and trim off any little bit. And as you can see, there wasn't much, but that is a good way to check your seam allowance. If there was more or less, you would definitely want to adjust that seam allowance. But before I assembled this piece, I wanted to check that, or else one of these pieces might be off. And if you were trying to align this piece with some other pieces, it could become an issue. So now that I've done that, I'm now going to assemble this piece on and press and see where I am with that piece. It measured the same, 1.5 by 3, so it should measure 1 1/4 by 3. Okay, so I just assembled this piece to that side. Now, it should measure 1 1/4 by 3. So you align 1 1/4 at the seam by 3, and it looks pretty darn good. Another thing we can measure is this center piece. So there are 2 seams on here, so that means a 1/4 inch and a 1/4 inch have been taken away from this piece in the seams. So this should technically measure 1, because that's a 1/2 inch. So let's see how we are there. pretty darn good. This is a great way for you to be able to test out your seam allowance and see if it's too small or big. Mine is pretty darn good. Sometimes, depending on how I sew on the diagonal seam tape, it could be a little off, but that is perfect for today. So I am happy with that. Okay, so here is us testing our seam allowance, and because we are assembling on a straight edge, you really want to make sure that your seam allowance is good. You don't have to really worry about it when you sew corner squares because you're really sewing on a diagonal line. But when you're not sewing on a diagonal drawn line or a diagonal line, you want to make sure that it is good to go. So I'm happy with this. Again, don't forget, you're just subtracting. You're using the lines on your rulers, understanding what piece size you started with, deducting 1/4 of an inch from that, and that is what your piece should measure. So be sure to do that as you're working on your next quilt to test your seam allowance. If it's off, you need to adjust. So if it's bigger, so let's just say that this piece was bigger than 1 1/4. That means my seam allowance is too small. If this piece was smaller than 1 1/4 inches, that means my seam allowance was too big. So be sure to check your seam allowance on your next project. I will see you again for another skill builder video. Bye guys.